then there's something works. I believe every one of us already carries a talent. Jai Gopal can play Mridanga, like, please listen to it, Mridanga playing. Even Leonard Bernstein would appreciate Mridanga. Ojashvi can sing and never stop. It's a talent. Kunya Bihari can work this machine where I have no idea what button to press at which time, and so on. Everyone carries a talent. Everyone. Every single one. But the moment you think that is from me, then the problem starts. That's it, from Krishna. The donkey carried Jesus, and the people were reacting to Jesus, not to the donkey. So when people come to you, applaud you, they react to your talent, not to you. The talent is God's gift to you. In my Dharma module, which I just finished before doing this tour, I talk about talent as a God divine gift. And I give the example of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, who was making this music, and he says, he writes there's an interview or something of him where he says like this, I don't know, interview not, but it's in one book, one biography, where he speaks and he says, I go, people ask me, how do I make the Zauberflöte or some of these musical evergreens which he wrote. How does this come to me? And I must say, I do my walk, and when I least expect it, I just don't think something, then all of a sudden I hear that's how the flute What can I do? When I was young, I was hearing this from morning till evening before Krishna consciousness. And he said, it's not that I composed the first Satz and the second Satz and the third Satz and then no, the composition as a whole, the whole thing is just given to me, and in my mind it comes from God, not from me. This is how he writes about talent, a God gift. Every one of us has. The fly can fly very briskly. Talent? What a talent? No, Prabhupada used to say, no, Boeing 700 something can fly like the fly. God has given this mystical power, he said, like this to the fly, not to the Boeing. It cannot be constructed, such a talent. It's given by the Lord. So there's a wonderful question. I believe somehow I'm doing this service as good as I can. I'm not perfect, I'm trying my best. And then when someone is serious in that relationship, what is for me the magic happens. Or the magic is maybe not the right word. The real spiritual essence of this relationship is revealing itself. That is that the Samasti Guru, Lord Krishna, who's present in each one's heart, gives help and direction. How could a human being lead anyone to God? Not possible. But God can help us to come. And He works through His servants. But if the servants think, then it's a problem, great problem. And then the Lord doesn't give the gifts any longer. He said, my servant is a little donkey. He needs now some beating on the head. What a wonderful question you asked, Krishna. I have also seen this. I prayed to Srila Prabhupada. Please, I just do not know, left or right. Which way should I go with it? It is paining me. I must make a decision. So many people wait for the decision, but I cannot come to a decision. When I ask Prabhupada, please help, I cannot come to a decision. Sometimes I ask Krishna also, but I always pray Guru and Krishna. Then it comes in the heart. Oops, I don't know. And I'm 100% sure it's right. Sometimes, but sometimes we need to ask personally. Sometimes we do. But no, in many cases we don't need to ask. Many. Maybe even most. But it depends how serious we are. Maybe we are not so serious and it doesn't follow us. Maybe. I'm saying you, not you, Krishna Laya. You are Krishna Laya. You are. No, I mean, I'm speaking now, giving an answer to your question, not just to you, but to everyone. Or maybe we are just very new in spiritual life, and we are not so receptive to spiritual inspirations. It is still coming, it is still waiting for us, and we need to ask more. I'm always trying to speak Croatian because I used to give the festival was for a long time in Croatia, in Zagreb, this festival, for many years, maybe more than 10 years, I can imagine. And, we did this because at that time it was very difficult for the devotees from the Balkan. I like to call the whole area the Balkan. That's an old name for this area. When they could not come, there was problems with visas. It was almost you had to be a guerrilla and run over the border to come to Germany. But now this is very easy by Krishna's mercy. Germany is easier. And this is a more central place. Devotees from England, from other places can easier come. So I decided to come here, and I see many of the Croatian devotees are either already here or are still coming. So it works. The concept works. Good. There was someone else, I think, but I've forgotten. I know Jai Gopal. Were you the next one?
I had a question, but
it's answered?
Yes.
Good. Good. Please, Jai Gopal.
Inspired by your yesterday's class on offering everything to Krishna, doing everything in Krishna consciousness, and also when you spoke about concepts we have in our mind, I often detect myself, I have this concept that I can only be Krishna conscious or remember Krishna and be able to give pleasure to Krishna when I chanted good rounds, when I read, versus when I had a hard working day, when work drained me a lot and my rounds were somewhere here and there while driving the car or something like that. Oh, and I didn't read anything, then yeah, anyway, I cannot remember Krishna and do something for his pleasure. Like kind of a black and white thinking. Can you maybe say something to this?
Yeah. Prabhupada said something on this, which I know of. A lucky position. But actually that comes later in the katha, so I don't want to give my jewels away. Yesterday I was talking to one very nice devotee, Shakshi Prabhu, who was one of the greatest book distribution of our North Europe book distributors of our North European zone. And these devotees would distribute up to 300 books, some even 600 books. It's inconceivable. Or 250 books of really a day. Just think of this, a day. And at that time we had this philosophy. I really must chant good rounds in the morning, otherwise I just can't distribute books because I need to be in high consciousness. So that no one walks over me, you know, and I can distribute the books and convince people to buy a Krishna conscious book. And, I know that the philosophy is, it is werkegerechte Spiritualität, if you want a German academic term for it. What it means is, if I work good, Krishna's mercy comes to me. And the more I make efforts, the more mercy comes to me. This is, you are from Switzerland, Calvin used to say this, a Christian priest. You have to work, and the more you work, the Lord offers back. But in the Bhagavatam we hear that Krishna's mercy and also the mercy of devotees is yadrichaya. It is independent of our own effort. We can't control God. He's not, Prabhupada says, it's not like a waiter. You give him something and then he gives you something back. He has to give you the soup. You know. It's not like this. Bhakti is yadrichaya. Tomorrow I will read you a couple for Prabhupada that you will faint. He speaks of the independent mercy of the devotees, the independent nature of bhakti. You see that very much in the Puranas, Jayagopal, where you see, there was a big king, Sumali, who was offering a light and wiping the temple, and his queen would dance for the deity. Once a devotee said, Sumali, king, you are doing so much devotional service, but what I noticed, you only offer a light each day and wipe the temple. You never do any other process of devotional service. Why? In my previous life, I was a hunter. I was killing animals indiscriminately. I never performed pious activities. I stole from good-hearted people. But then one day, when I wanted to meet my girlfriend, we went into a temple. And we wanted to enjoy our relationship. So I thought, let me make this clean first. It was an old temple, not an Hare Krishna new temple, you know, not an old, ruined, broken down temple. It's so dirty here, let me make a little clean space. And you know, just let me put on a light for romantic atmosphere, you know. And she thought, well, let me dance a little bit, you know. And just because of these activities, the Lord didn't do anything. We didn't even mean the Lord, but the Lord is so independent. He has given us His mercy. Now I'm king. I have great faith in putting lights to the lamps. I clean the temple. I let no one else clean. And my wife has great faith in dancing for the deities. She always dances for the deities because the Lord was somehow pleased. It was nothing. We didn't even mean to say that. We were thinking totally different. But, and you read the Puranas, Narada Purana, I'm reading at the moment, one story after the other. It's so many that I already forget. But always the same pattern. The Lord just is very independent. That doesn't mean you should now become a hunter. You know, you are Jayagopal, you know about devotional service, you know, and so on. But the Lord can give His mercy anyways. But we don't now, as devotees, it's anti-bhakti to think, okay, Guru Maharaj said it, no need to chant rounds. Let's see what's in the TV. No, you have no TV. Let's see how I can spend my time in an interesting way, you know, and so on. That is not bhakti. We should please the Lord. He is our all and everything. But He is independent. I think we sometimes saw, even when we had a lousy day and we were mental and we felt so much under the modes. Does this happen sometimes to one of you? No, never. That somehow at the evening something wonderful happens and we think about Krishna so much. We think, my Lord, thank you that you don't measure me like an ordinary person would measure me, who's only good when I'm good, and who hates me when I'm not good. Sometimes we cannot be good. We are conditioned souls, our karma is there, our crazy mind is there, and so on and so forth. But the Lord understands. Will the mother beat a child when the child goes like, no, the mother will understand. Child has maybe not slept, and then it's a little moody, you know. It does not mean, I want to repeat it because we have also